Carrie.
I like John. It's good.
Why did I vote?
Leading up to the 2018 midterm elections, the buzz was all about the youth vote. It was spread across news articles and social media posts. Everyone was encouraging the youth to get out there and vote at their local polling places.
I just think it's my duty to come out and vote as a citizen. So for the people who couldn't come vote, I just thought I could, for them, be a voice for them.
More people like my age are like actually interested in getting out and doing something, whereas like before it was like, it'll be fine, business as usual, and people are kind of seeing that it's not.
Campaigns across college campuses, social media pushes to vote, along with celebrities encouraging their fans to take to the polls, and issues on the ballot that appeal to the young people are just some of the reasons the younger generation proudly displayed their I voted stickers on November 6th.
Get out there and vote. Your voice matters. Super easy. Even if you're not registered, you can still register to vote today. Go do it.
I just really wanted to be a part of like the blue wave and like the new generation of voters.
So it doesn't really seem as though 2018 was very different than past experiences have been.
The 2018 elections didn't bring out the youth voters like expected. Social media has been used as an attempt to influence young people to get out and vote. Celebrities during the midterm election tweeted, shared posts about the upcoming midterms, their plans to vote, and links to help young voters figure out where their local polling place was. But while social media could have been a big influence on why some young people voted, in Milwaukee, there seemed to be one topic that brought a lot of young people out to their polling places.
I don't say that this necessarily increased youth turnout, but one thing that happened here in several counties in Wisconsin was the advisory referendum on marijuana legalization.
Marijuana legalization.
Marijuana legalization.
In Milwaukee County, the referendum about legalizing recreational marijuana received the majority of votes, racking in about 70% of people favoring it.
I think that legalization of marijuana would benefit Wisconsin economically and socially, and I think that decriminalizing it will help a lot of people that are already in jail for small, minor charges.
While this doesn't actually legalize the drug, it is a push in the direction to bringing legislation to legalize it in the future. While this was a hot topic for a lot of people to vote about, it wasn't the only thing that got the young people out and voting.
Considering we live in a swing state, I feel like my vote is actually kind of important.
I guess like immigration and just foreign policies and everything like that's important to me as a college student, I guess.
And I feel like I hit it, like just like people like seem a lot more motivated to do something, like regardless of what side you're on. Like people are way more into it than they previously had been. I feel like people are a lot more divided, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but it's a good thing that people are actually like trying to do something. So
across platforms, young people were encouraging others to become political activists in their own ways. People participated in protest, from the Women's March to the March for Our Lives.
The numbers of the people involved in those things are really hard to judge. It's great for those students who were activated, but we don't have any evidence that it has increased youth participation in general. And if you think about those kinds of things, they again tend to happen among young people who are more well-educated or connected to college campuses or something like that.
In 2 years, the 2020 presidential election will be among us. And one of the questions that's looming is whether young people will continue to be motivated and get out to their local polling places.
So I guess at this point, given that it's 2 years from now, there's no reason to think things are going to change dramatically than the patterns that exist. And so really what we need to do as a political society is to figure out a way, because young people are the least likely to vote, right? We know that from hundreds of years of data, or at least since 1971 for 18-year-olds. And so what we need to do as a political society is figure out how to engage students.
While 2018 didn't prove to be the huge kickstart of young people voting, there is a new excitement in politics that hasn't been there in a while. Many talk about how this is the generation that can change everything. And while millennials and Gen Zers are making their way into this world, only those who show up to the polls will be able to show us what the future holds for these generations.
Generation is the change that we are going to see, and without voting, that change isn't going to happen.